Hey guys, welcome back to Mod Pop Thrift. My name's Tom. I'm an eBay reseller and a full-time stay-at-home dad for my 6 kids. And right now we are driving up to Goodwill. And I do a lot of sourcing at Goodwill because I have a good Goodwill by me. It's not as good as garage sales, but it's generally better than like the high bid auctions and other places that I have to source. I don't do Facebook Marketplace. If they were giving the stuff away, I don't try to meet up with the weirdos and not smart people on Facebook Marketplace to buy or to sell. So my sources are a little bit limited. Garage sales on the weekends and Goodwill, and then, you know, what you can figure out to our online arbitrage. Anyhow, I have Evelyn and Ruby with me, and we are going to head into this here Goodwill and see if we can't find anything that is really profitable, because I don't need filler, I don't need fluff, but I hate to miss out on bangers, the FOMO, you know what I'm saying? So let's jump into Goodwill, see if we can find anything cool. Here is the toys department. That tiger, Timon, not really much worth digging into. That's Zazu, and this is some Dr. Seuss thing, I think. Nope. Man, we are just batting 1,000 on nothing. Like, not even hardly anything to see in here today, let alone look up and decide whether or not it's worth buying. Balance board, those are fun. My kids like them. What's Porter cable? We do well with Porter cable sometimes. Not that. She's rolling the new cart thing back, so maybe there's another new cart for her to go grab and bring us out something more exciting, because right now it's a whole lot of nothing. Look at these. These are interesting. And if I didn't just go on a spiel about how I hate Facebook Marketplace, at $11, there's 2 of these like ornamental carved wood. They're probably 2.5 feet tall. And then there's like 4 panels, and you get them both for $22. Okay, so we went to Goodwill and I got 2 things, and we had a $10 coupon. So it was $11 total, and it was $1 that I spent on the 2 things. But I have a story to tell that doesn't have anything to do with buying things to resell at Goodwill, and I'm so mad. Please don't be this person. Please don't be the person who undermines a parent at the store. And I know people's intentions are good, but man, am I furious. Okay, so what happened was, me and Evelyn are in the Goodwill, and she is looking at all the toys, and I'm like, no, remember 2 days ago we just cleaned your room up, and we had to spend 3 days cleaning your room because you didn't want to do it, and you didn't know what to do with anything, and you were so overwhelmed with stuffies that you couldn't move forward. You do not need that mermaid stuffy. And please, Daddy. I said no. Put it back. And this woman was standing in the aisle, and she says, and she made eye contact with me, and I was like, she has so many toys, she doesn't even know what all she has, and she has more than will fit in her room, and so she can't have it. And just kind of making friendly small talk, in my opinion, with that lady, as we're moving past the toys, and she's there. I felt like either she worked at a daycare or she is a toy reseller. She had a bunch of toys. So then later, we're walking through the store, unrelated story, and Evelyn is like 5 steps behind me and just screams, "Ah, it pinched me," and then starts crying. And the people in Goodwill know us well enough to know that she doesn't behave that way ever. And so one of them came over alarmed. What happened was somebody had on the shelf a rotisserie thing for hot dogs like they have at gas stations and whatever, but this was like a novelty one that you have at your house, and somebody had plugged it in, tested it to see if it heated up, and then I guess decided they didn't want it, because then they unplugged it and put it right back on the shelf, and Evelyn just probably absent-mindedly. I didn't actually see it, but she's not prone to just handle things for no reason. Probably either absent-mindedly or curious like a 4-year-old. Touched it and it burned her hand. And like the person who tested it didn't necessarily do anything wrong, and she didn't necessarily do anything wrong just touching some random thing on the shelf at Goodwill. But like that was an unfortunate situation. And so then it was a big part of why I didn't get any more footage at Goodwill's, because Evelyn got burnt. And I'm like, and for the record, we went into the bathroom, we ran cold water under it. There isn't even a mark an hour later. It was just red for a minute. So it's not like she got a burn and we needed to talk to the management and get a accident report and all that. It was just a startling situation for a 4-year-old who got too close to a hot thing, and she's fine, but it distracted us from the goal. So then I get up to the register and I'm talking to the cashier, and I'm looking at Ruby, and Evelyn's behind me, and the cashier's asking me questions. You got to give your phone number if you want to get the points to get 10% off at some point, and asking me about, I'm in there all the time. Sam knows me. We talk a lot. So I get the sense that Evelyn isn't kind of right here just out of my peripheral, that I can't see her. You know, you just get the sense that your kid walked off a little bit. And I turn around, and the woman who was in front of us in line is now 20 feet behind me, having talked to Evelyn to get her to come back there, and kneeling down to where she's talking to her on her level and whispering, and gives her the mermaid doll that I told her she couldn't have. And then she just kind of beelines out of the store. Like, I'm a tyrant that I won't let her have this toy. And I said to Evelyn, I told you no 3 times. And I did not say anything. I was mad. I'm over it. I'm not going to get worked up about it again. But I was in a place where, like, there was a Tom who would have confronted that lady with not good words and violence. And that is not the person I am anymore. Or at least, you know, vague threats of violence on a woman. I would have said, anyway, I'm not saying, I chose to say nothing, and I did not feel good about that decision. So then, like, Evelyn didn't do anything wrong. And that thing that she wanted I felt like taking that away from her was not appropriate. She didn't do anything wrong. She shouldn't necessarily be punished. But we did have to have a real strong talk about, you don't take things from strangers, especially not things Dad said you can't have. And you don't talk to random people who ask you to walk away from Dad. And that lady needs to listen to Dad say no to you as much as you need to listen to Dad say no to you. So the person that should be in trouble is that lady and not Evelyn, but you don't need to talk to people you don't know who ask you to walk away from Dad, and you don't take things from strangers. So that was that story that I was going to tell, and now I told it. And don't be that person at Goodwill. We're going to do some yard sailing and some what solds. Let's get into all of that. All right, guys, welcome back to Mod Pop Thrift. This would be coming in after a Goodwill debacle, but we got about 10 minutes before I have to be at Levi's award ceremony for the end of school, and I've got 2 girls with me. I hit these 2 garage sales last year and made a fortune. So hopefully there's still good stuff that they've put out for this year, and we'll make some money. Oh goodness, hit a bump in the sidewalk. That's interesting. Condition unknown.
Indicate like lights.
Okay, yeah,
Like
they're
pre-transistor,
yeah.
pre-digital.
They're so light. It feels like
Oh yeah.
I did not do great at getting video. There was $2 for that clock. And then there was a pair of Levi's new with the tag 44s. And then a couple batteries. I'll show you when we get back. And then there's this oscilloscope that was free. And a clock and an oscilloscope they don't know anything about, but I'm gonna sell as is for parts. Last year here, I picked up a bunch of tools. And Ruby's throwing baby toys. So we went to a ceremony at the elementary school where essentially Levi graduated from kindergarten, or from 5th grade. Speaking of kindergarten, somebody's going to kindergarten. And this is what happened while we were gone. The sky turned a bit on us. So we're gonna duck into this Goodwill and wait the storm out and see if we can't find anything to make money on. Why is it always these three and not Twilight? Twilight's getting like to where I'm thinking you could almost call it hard to find. I mean, I'm sure it's available online to buy, but I see those three all the time. And I don't see Twilight, the first one in that series, almost ever. I have a couple of sets up here. Babysitter's Club, but these are like new. And I don't know anything about 2015 Babysitter's Club. That's interesting. $1.84 for whatever that is. Not familiar with it, but $2. It's less than 50 cents a piece. So when you look up the Time Warp Trio lot, there are 78 listed, only 5 sold. And this is only $3 worth of books because it's 6 books for, that would be 50 cents a piece, except they lotted them together and asking 5. And it would really have to be something special to get me to pay up on books, because books are almost literally a dime a dozen. Sometimes you can get them for free. Look at you staring at. Coach, that's kind of cool. The complete series. I might comp that, I don't know that it would be worth anything, but it's not something that you see all the time. And I don't think it's probably readily available on a streaming service. But is it so iconic that people would remember it and want to watch it? Boys busted their laundry hamper, and so for $3.10 a piece, I think I'm going to grab these, because the laundry hamper situation at a house of 8 people and 2 of them are teenage boys, it gets a little out of hand. Look at this silly girl. Hi. Are you going to play paintball? You're so silly. Take it off. $16 is a little much. 425E. If it has the, so that, it's in pretty good shape. It has the gas tank in it, which is important. And it's from 1976. June 1976. That's what that means. And Evelyn's just putting all kinds of things on her face. These are like almost Afrocentric looking, like willow trees, but they're much more like African inspired. They're really neat. They don't seem to have a brand or anything on them, but at $2 a piece, if you had a little like shop with a stand, that would probably do okay. There's a couple of new carts they just brought out all at once. And on that new cart, I grabbed this because it's gonna make life easier trying to clean the windshield on the van. This, because, you know, Tay-Tay for life. This I'm gonna comp, but it just has that real iconic, like, atomic look. And then this kind of looked like silver, and so I don't see a marking on it yet, but I'm gonna look into it a little bit. And this is why we cut our yard sale in short today. Dad. So these are $2 a piece, and they're very small, but I think I'm gonna buy them all because they're cheap enough to experiment with. I left the $3.10 ones there, and then I'm gonna I think the moments altered or something is what they call those when people customize precious moments. So I'm gonna use that keyword and see if I can't get anywhere selling all of those in a lot. How about $5.44 for a single dangle black? I'm gonna have to check it for, because it feels pretty new. It says 1992 there. Karma Sutra Dinosaurs double-sided. So these are $11 each, so it'd be like $25 for the pair, including sales tax. This Klipsch is a good brand. I can't, KA4WD maybe? So these are really nice condition, really, really nice speakers. And I'm tempted to buy them because I just believe you could ship them. They could be shipped. But also they could be picked apart, and like this crossover and that speaker would be worth something. The fronts would be worth something. All three of those speakers in the front would be worth something. Okay, so I'm buying these speakers because they're amazing and they're cheap. And then I found, we went to put some silverware I picked up a minute ago away, and I found this bag. And man, these look like silver, and I can't really see a marking on them. And then these look like silver, these spoons, and they say like something silver company, but they don't say plate. So I think I'm gonna go home and do some research and figure out, but I'm gonna take a $7 gamble on that bag of silver plateware. And then what did Evelyn find? Louis cups.
Yeah.
How cool are those?
And there's one Chase.
And there's one Chase, but nobody cares about Chase. He's a dork. Is that right? Or do you like Chase too?
I like Chase too.
So we just found this. It's got a really nice big full tang cleaver in it, and it's $6. And then this weird microphone thing I'm gonna look up. It's like a kind of a podcaster microphone, but it's called Hyper. It doesn't seem to have much information on it, which probably means it's super generic, but I'm gonna look it up anyway. So I'm buying this sign for my friends who have a bunch of hives in their yard, and then for $11, this HyperX microphone has about 100% sell-through rate at maybe $40. So should be a really good pickup there. I think we need to leave because my cart is like, those hampers are overflowing with stuff, and then we got all this stuff too. So a weird adventure today, not what we expected. Hit some yard sales. The best thing we got was free at the yard sale, and then it rained us out on yard sales, and we went to Goodwill and bought a bunch of craziness. I'll do a little review pickup and you guys can see what we got, but I don't know how I'm gonna find comps on a lot of it, but we made money. We spent about 90 minutes, honestly, in Goodwill, and we spent $100. So pretty good day, I think. We're gonna make a ton of money. Thanks for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, following, clicking the bell. Check out the links for eBay, Mercari, whatnot, and my other channel. Let's do some what solds real fast. These little pewter figurines, I paid $4.40. I made 2 lots out of them. This one sold for $13.75. It's the one that's worth somebody's time picking up. The other ones probably take forever to sell. So this is a 4XL Salt Lake City. I really like the picture on the back. Salt Lake City, Utah Harley Davidson dealer t-shirt. I paid $5.50 for a bunch of these. I thought they would do tremendously well, and they've done okay. This one sold for $24, but it's probably been 3 or 4 months. Let's talk about this. It has sold twice, and I hadn't packaged it up. It's 2-day handling, and the both times the buyer was like, right before it was, like, it never got to being late shipment, but right before it got to being a late shipment, I was going to package it up, and the person messaged me and said, hey, can we cancel that order? So I guess I'm glad I didn't get it in the mail, because I don't want them to cancel it or return it. I'd rather them have buyer's remorse before I ship it. But that is one of those things. Like, it's weird. You'll get a canceled order every once in a while, but it seems like sometimes you get several on one item. So we paid like $3.10 for this puppet, and it's new with tag, and it sold, I don't remember for how much. It's like a ballerina with a stick on her hand. So she's a Muppet marionette puppet. But she's Melissa and Doug, so she's not like a Jim Henson Muppet. But she is a marionette puppet. And this pinstripe Wrangler pearl snap. I paid either 50 cents or a quarter for it at a yard sale 2 weeks ago. Short sleeve, which isn't as desirable in my opinion as the long sleeve ones, but still it sold. $22 plus shipping. So this is a little bit weird. There's an estate sale. This is the garage right there. And so it's weird when the dead guy stuff you're buying was your friend. Like, we weren't close, but Bill was a good dude. And so, like, I'm not sure I'm going to that estate sale. Okay, Caleb, what sold?
A shirt.
What's it got on it? Do you know?
A shark.
Do you know what movie that's from?
Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo shirt. Sold for $8.50 plus shipping. I've had it for a long time. It's so long I don't even know where it came from. Here, let me see it. And it says seafood is low carb, and it shows a shark from Finding Nemo, and it's on the Disney store tag, so you know it's not new. It sold, buyers all in at 15 bucks. Not a great sale. These books, I got 10. I paid like $3 for them or something. I don't remember. I got them at a yard sale very recently, and they sold for $17.99 plus shipping. They're mostly old. I guess this one is R.L. Stine, not Goosebumps. The rest of them are the old vintage Goosebumps that you know and love. And they, like I said, buyers all in at $23.80. So good get there. What is that? What do you call that?
A Bass Pro hat.
Okay, but what did you call it when you were little? Do you remember?
No.
You used to call that a Dude Perfect hat because Dude Perfect always wore those hats. That hat we got when we picked up way too many hats, and I shouldn't have bought them all. I think I paid $5 for that one, and it sold for $15 free shipping. So not a great pickup. It is vintage, made in Taiwan, Republic of China. ROC is a very old, it had some sputs on it from the hat that was sitting on top of it. So now it's clean, really, really good shape. Nice hat. I'm surprised that it didn't sell better. We already kind of talked about this cleaver. Paid essentially 50 cents. I had the 10% off coupon, or the $10 off coupon for having $10 coupon that you earn by spending $100. So it's 10% off of your last purchases. So when I spent $11 in the store the other day, I was able to use the 10% off, the $10 coupon, and get 2 items that would have been $11 for $1. So this, my cost of goods is essentially 50 cents on this, and it sold for $27, free shipping right away. And then I bought a whole bunch, and I still have almost all of them. This is a heat transfer. It is backwards. It says New Orleans like a mirror, and I don't know which way that presents to you. I think it presents like you see it, like a mirror too. But anyway, I have a bunch of these heat transfers, and this one I had 4 or 5 of. This is the last one. It was pretty popular. There was a handful of popular ones. I've only sold maybe 20, but I only paid like, I think I paid $40 for all of them 2 years ago, and I've sold 20 for $12.99 a piece. So I made my money, but they're selling a lot slower. I may like try to do a whatnot with just heat transfers and do them like $1 start. And if I got a couple of them together, and see how many I can get. And then what do you think this is, Caleb?
A board game.
A board game. It's by Rich Dad, Poor Dad, who is kind of in the same vein as like Dave Ramsey, trying financial wealth management education kind of a thing. And this is a cash flow for kids board game talking about money management, teaching your kids money management when they're young. Should have kept this or at least played it a handful of times. But my wealth management is buy things low, sell them high quickly. So this, I picked this up on advice of a YouTube comment. What are you doing?
Playing the piano.
Playing the piano on Dad. I did not see it on the table. I knew what it was, but somebody's like, why didn't you pick up that cash flow? What was wrong with that? And I was like, I didn't see it. But now that you pointed out, I see it. I went back to the yard sale the next day and it was still there. $2. It feels like it's never been played, and it sold in a day for 40 bucks. So thank you. I don't remember the commenter who commented that, but thank you so much for pointing that out. And then the last thing is from the store buyout. Paid $1. This sold for $6 plus shipping. Not a tremendous amount of money. It's a Scentsy warmer. Not new, but still in the box. And that is it for what solds. Tell them to like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Tell them.
See you on the next one.
We'll leave it at that. We'll check out the links.